All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in to the AV Experience Podcast. Today I have a guest in house. You want to introduce yourself?
I am Justin Lee, formerly of the United States Air Force.
How many years is it?
13 years.
13. Okay. All right. So right off bat, we'll get into it. Let's get started. All right. 13 years. What made you join the Air Force?
Pretty much my entire family served. My sister was in, my grandpa, my dad,
Air Force?
aunts, uncles were all Air Force.
Oh, so man, you got a smart family. Okay.
So I contemplated the other branches, but ultimately just fell into the Air Force.
Oh, yeah. What did you do? What was your job?
I was Missile and Space Systems Maintenance. So I used to maintain and transport like the Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Okay. That sounds very interesting. And you did that the whole career?
Yeah. Yep.
So Army picks on Air Force all the time.
Exactly.
Saying you got it easy. It's a cakewalk. And, when you went in, well, you said your entire family was in. So did they prepare you for anything that the recruiters wouldn't tell you?
Yeah, my uncle, who's a retired master sergeant, him and I had a long conversation. Okay. And, he kind of, it's funny because he was like, make sure you're doing this and asking for this and doing all that. And don't go into missile and space systems maintenance.
Okay. Okay. And that's what you did.
And that's what I ended up doing, yeah.
So how was your experience? Did you run into any, did you run into any problems?
Not until the last part of my career when the whole medical evaluation stuff and getting out after that. But the other 12 years, it was great. I had great leadership all the time. It was just fun. I enjoyed it.
Man, I'm jealous. And seems he said he had fun. So you partied a lot. Did you party a lot, or was it just a good experience in the Air Force?
No, we threw down.
Threw down.
Oh yeah. Looking back now, the missile and space system side of the military is kind of corporate.
Okay.
If that makes sense. The Lockheed Martins, the ATKs, all of them, we're working for them.
Okay.
And so we didn't have we would party with our colonels and generals, and
that is crazy.
Yeah, it was nuts.
That's crazy. Okay. And your chain of command, you said, was good. So when did the issues, you said at the 13th year, you started having issues?
Yeah. It was when I started getting into a really dark place, kind of going off the deep end.
Okay.
And at first, no one understood what was going on.
Okay.
They didn't seem like they really wanted to understand what was going on.
Okay.
And, it took me going into the hospital twice for it to catch people's attention, and for people to really start, holy shit, we need to look into this.
What do you think brought it on? Or was it already there? Well, it couldn't have been already there because it took 13 years for it to come out.
Yeah, I don't know. So they diagnosed me with an unspecified mood disorder at first.
Okay.
So that allowed me to still serve.
Okay.
And then after my second time, I went to the hospital. When I came out, they're like, all right, it's time. You're going to be med boarded.
Okay.
And they changed my diagnosis to bipolar 1.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any problems transitioning from the Air Force into civilian life?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I tell you that all of us used to party all the time, and we were a real small career field.
Right.
There was like 500 and some of us.
Okay, that's not a lot.
Yeah. And we used to hang out all the time, all the time. We'd go to the gym together. We would party together. We would have family picnics together, stuff like that. And then when I left, it's like everybody forgot about me. Except for a couple key, people that were in my life, that, best friends, stuff like that.
Okay. So how did that, so you said they forgot about you, so they didn't keep in contact with you, or they just treated you different now that you was out, or what?
They just, no more contact.
No more contact.
Yeah, it was crazy. Like, to have so many people who I considered to be close friends
For so long.
Yeah. Because it's not like, with missile maintainers, we don't move around all the time.
Okay.
We,
Were you ever deployed?
I went to Kuwait International Airport from September 2004 to February of 2005.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. I got out in February of 2003 as my unit was going to Kuwait.
Oh, okay.
I watched them get on the bus, and I begged First Sergeant to let me go. I had my first taste of first experience of combat in Kosovo.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
So I just begged them to go, and due to my past, my history, they meted me out, but I think it was due to some other actions that I took that they didn't approve of. Okay. But so I was forced out. I didn't want to get out, you know. So my transition was not a good one. It's like I'm still transitioning to this day.
Absolutely.
20 years later,
Yep.
So how does it? Was that the only thing they meted you for?
Yeah, it was the bipolar one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So with that, tell me, what is it? What does that entail? Because we was talking earlier, and you said you had pain or whatnot.
Yeah. So right now the doctors are still trying to figure out what's going on with the pain in my body. Okay. They have no clue as of right now. But like with the bipolar 1, I just have constant ups and downs. I'll be on cloud 9 for 3 months, and then I wake up one morning and I can't even get out of bed.
Due to the pain or due to the mood?
Both.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have triggers? Like in the middle of the day at work?
No, not really. It's just it's constant. Like there's nothing to trigger anymore. Okay. The trigger's already pulled all the time.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Man. So does it affect it has to affect your civilian life.
Absolutely. Okay. I worked a part-time job, with Sonia, and then I go home and I sit there. Okay. That's all I do.
And you were married?
Yep.
Did that contribute to your marriage?
To the divorce?
Well, both.
Yeah. So, my ex-wife and I, we parted amicably. We still text all the time. Okay. All that. We were together for 12 years. It's kind of hard to not be friends after when nobody did anything wrong. We just grew apart. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. We had many years of dealing with after I got out of the military. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was to the point where I thought I was hearing voices.
Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, she had to deal with all that. She's a veteran as well. She actually saw combat in Balad.
Okay.
And so she has her own things going on. I had my own things going on, and it just never got to the point of where, you know, we could figure those things out together. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So y'all were together while you were in.
While I was still in, she had gotten out already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me some instances where, well, first of all, can you remember, or, you know, can you recall the times that you have an episode and what you do or say or whatnot?
Oh man. I haven't had one in a while, thanks to the medicine that I'm on now,
Gotcha.
which I hate taking, but it's working. So,
Gotcha.
but I remember this one time I got so mad that I just ran upstairs and my bedroom door was, and I'm screaming the entire time. I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm screaming. And I get to the top of the stairs and my bedroom door was closed, and I just hit that thing as hard as I possibly could, and like the door just collapsed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're a pretty big dude, so you have no other options.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, I punch holes in walls, and just looking back, you know, from what I do remember, acting a fool.
Mm-hmm.
But it was weird because I would sit there and I would tell my wife, I was like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but I can't stop.
Yes. So with mine, and I have a touch of bipolar and schizophrenia and a bad case of PTSD and depression. So that's what they diagnosed me with.
Okay.
And with mine, I had so much anger. It was just, I would blank out. Everything go black.
Yep.
And, you know, I don't remember until the latter part of it, till I'm coming up out of it. Man, it's a terrible feeling. Thank goodness it has never landed me in jail.
Yeah.
And I can remember one episode I had when I was asleep. At the time, this was right after I got out, and I was sleeping with the girl that I was dating at the time. And while I was asleep, she said I wrapped her up in a chokehold and just she was fighting. I was asleep. I didn't understand. I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
Until she, woke me up, and she said, you gotta go get some help,
Yeah.
I didn't. Not at that time, because, waking up in a pool of sweat, and it is just crazy. It's lightening up now. But, yeah, man, we go through some things. I never would have guessed that the Air Force, an airman, would have any trauma, without combat. I never would have thought it.
Yeah.
Because, the Army pick on y'all about the exercise.
Right.
And never sleeping in hotels out in the field.
Yep.
Yeah, man. So,
Yeah, it's in all reality, I know a lot of friends back in the, they would come to me and say that they were struggling and stuff like that. And at the time, you're kind of conditioned to be like, okay, whatever, dude. Like,
in the Air Force.
Take a half day off, figure yourself out, and come back to work tomorrow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
It wasn't until so back in 2005, my dad, he was a police officer in upstate New York for 25 years.
Okay.
In 2005, he took his own life.
Wow.
That is where most of my trauma came from. I didn't find him. I wasn't there. But I still blamed myself because I knew, how bad he was. I didn't obviously think he was that bad to the point where he was going to take his own life. But that's where a large majority of my trauma came from while I was in the military.
Wow. Okay. So that was not. Well, wow. Yeah, that's something serious to have to deal with.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. And that's something that you won't get over.
No, not at all. So I've tried just about every medication that there is out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have done every type of therapy there is,
Mm-hmm.
up to the point of I even put myself through graduate school for clinical mental health counseling so I could figure myself out.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Did that help? So what helps the most? What's your major coping mechanism?
I'd say right now it's like when if something happens, I've got and my daughters are around,
Mm-hmm.
like that's therapy for me.
Being with your family.
Being with my family. I don't drink anymore. I gave that up about 4 years ago.
Okay.
Because I got to the point of where I was drinking 3/4 of a bottle of Everclear every night.
Like water.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
Same thing. I'm on a year. I just
Yeah.
gave it up last year. So
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. So I've gotten away from those type of coping mechanisms. Yeah. Now it's just like I'm constantly craving peace.
Okay.
You know. I think all veterans
Great.
crave peace
Yeah, but
after serving.
we have a different. Our pieces are different. Our piece is different in most cases. Like
Yeah.
my piece, I'm a shooter. I love to shoot, whether it's with cameras or guns.
Yeah.
I love it. You know, that's my piece.
Yeah.
If I give me guns and ammo or a camera and something to shoot,
Yep.
that's my piece.
That's good. That's good.
And you said your piece is spending time with your family.
Yeah. And the beach. Those two things, when I have those things together, I just feel like I'm completely at peace.
I hear you. I hear you. So what would you tell, what kind of advice would you tell a prospect looking to join the Air Force? What kind of advice would you give them?
Hit it hard. When I went into the military, I said, okay, I'll be happy if I make Master Sergeant, and I'm going to get out as soon as my time card hits 20 years, I'm getting out, and we'll go from there. And I didn't realize until I was in the Air Force that I was actually somewhat intelligent.
No, you find that out at the ass pad.
Oh, yeah. But so as soon as I got that confidence about myself,
Okay.
I was like, fuck this, man. I'm gonna do the best that I possibly can. I'm gonna become a fast burner. I'm gonna freaking make Chief Master Sergeant. I'm gonna make Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force.
Okay.
So, going in and setting goals, I think is the most important thing. Because if you're just going into it blindly, and have no goals while you're in the military, then what the hell are you there for?
Some people join, a lot of people in our unit join for college money. Or
Right.
For money.
Yep.
They didn't care what the job was. They hated it because of the job for the money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The recruiter told them, you can get X amount, get a signing bonus and ching ching, dollar signs. But they didn't tell them what was required of the MOS.
Oh.
And, some folk hated it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't realize they was going to be on the front line. And, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So did you get a lot of people, soldiers airmen like that, coming in just for the money?
Not that I know of. A lot of them just signed up because they wanted to serve. A lot of my friends were taking advantage of the educational benefits, of course.
Of course.
But most of them just came in because that's what they wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me, what were some of the jokes and pastimes that you talk about the other branches? What was some of the stuff y'all said about the Army, the Marines, and the Navy?
Pretty much just kind of your generic stuff. Like, we'd always get everybody with, well, at least we scored higher on our ASVAB.
Yeah.
So
that's it. You ain't got no good ones. 'Cause we said, hey, the Air Force is for women only. women and sissies. That's that's it. That was our running thing.
Yeah.
But we, at the end of the day, much respect, because we worked together and we understood that y'all were the smartest. Y'all were the smarties, smart guys.
Yeah. No, it's we sit there and give each other shit all the time.
Yeah.
But when it comes to getting down to business, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, everybody was brothers.
Yep.
Brothers and sisters. Yep. Did you want to get out?
No.
Okay.
I literally, at my retirement, they put on a retirement ceremony for me.
Okay.
Because I was medically retired.
Mm-hmm.
And I cried. I was like, I do not want this at all.
Right. So I think that is a part of making the transition even harder, not wanting to leave the military, the brotherhood.
Exactly.
I know it was for me,
Mm-hmm.
So since you've been out, have you established another brotherhood, an extended brotherhood?
In all reality, no. So when I was out in Utah, I was medically retired in 2016. I moved from Utah in 2018. Mm-hmm. In those 2 years, I found a really, really good church out there, non-denominational, and I mean, you could come in there in your pajamas.
Okay.
They had a bus that would go pick up people from the jail and bring them to church, and everybody was welcome.
Okay.
And my ex-wife and I ended up being in charge of the security for the church.
Okay.
And so everybody knew us. We knew everybody, and I had that feeling of camaraderie again.
Okay. In church.
In church, yeah.
Okay.
And then ever since we moved here, I just haven't found anything, and I've been here since 2018.
Have you been to the churches around here or whatnot?
I have. I've gone to a couple. I wasn't overly fond of them.
Why?
They just... I've got my own view of what religion should look like.
Okay.
And when I went in there and the way that things were being preached and stuff, I just didn't like it.
Okay.
So.
Got you. Now, let's go back to the military, because I forgot to ask this question. And, well, let me just ask this. Did you see or experience any racism in the Air Force?
No.
None whatsoever?
Two of my closest friends from the military are black.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's some of the stuff that we say to each other is pretty jacked up, right?
Okay.
As veterans, we banter back and forth and we say some pretty jacked up stuff.
Right.
So I guess looking back, thinking about it right now, some stuff that I heard from people that it would have crossed the line. I think it crossed the line to me anyway.
Okay.
My buddies were like, I don't care, one of them may think it's funny, the other one might be like, wow, dude.
Uh-huh.
But when it came down to seeing someone from another race, religion, whatever, being treated differently because of that, I really didn't see that.
Didn't see it.
I didn't.
in the army, in the military, I ran into a bunch of white guys who never interacted with black people before, or at least that's what they said.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Upstate New York.
So that's not your case.
No, in all like my town, we had 3 black families.
That's it?
That was it. Out of 2,200 people, we had 3 black families.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is your case. That is, well, first of all, I don't know how the Air Force, I know in the Army, we all had to shower together. We all had to live, sleep together in the Bay Area or whatnot.
Yep.
That's the way it is in the Air Force?
Yeah.
So in that arena, did you have any issues? Didn't see any issues?
Nope.
So y'all really are the smart people. That's all right. That's all right. How many blacks or Hispanics or, how many different races was in your MOS?
Oh, that's a good question. So there was only, when I was running the missile field at FU Warren Air Force Base, we only had 7 women in my career field.
Okay.
And then I would say probably 30% black.
Okay, that's...
And then maybe 60% white.
Right.
And then 10%
everybody
else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. That's something. My MOS was primarily white. And full of racism. Full of it. Yeah, it was full of it.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was crazy, man. And I was used to it. I joined the military in '90, and from '90 to 2000, I was used to it, but it was sporadic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From 2000 to 2001, it was 24/7.
Really?
My squad leader, and there's no way around that.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible, and my hat's off to anybody who could deal with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just couldn't deal with it.
Yeah. And I can tell you straight up that I didn't witness anything crazy, just because I wouldn't have put up with that crap. There's no way.
Okay.
I say I grew up with only 3 black families in my town.
Right.
I was friends with all the kids though.
Okay.
We'd play. Me and my buddy would go play basketball, or I had a girl that I graduated with, and we'd go out as groups and go to the movies or go bowling or whatever, and she would always be with us, and
So you were no stranger to the culture?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
That's cool. That's good. That's good. Let's see. Other than it being a cakewalk, the partying, the wild parties. What's the wildest party you went to?
It was probably no, there's no probably. It was a Christmas party that we had on base at the club.
Okay, on base.
On base, and everybody is just getting tanked. And I told you we partied with our officers.
Yeah.
So our squadron commander, Lieutenant Colonel, hammered drunk, and people start fighting, and he's in the center of it.
Start fighting.
So, and you guys, this guy's probably late 50s.
Okay.
And he's in the center of this, starting to fight with his own squadron.
Okay.
So it ends up out in the parking lot, and security forces come and arrest him.
Arrest the colonel.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah.
So did the general have to come get him out?
I'm not sure what all I know is that he resigned after that.
Oh.
He's like, I'm done, I retire.
Oh, okay.
No retirement party, nothing. He packed his stuff up out the gate.
Oh, wow. He went out with a bang.
Yep.
I like that. Okay. Okay, so you said there were 7 females in your field.
Yep.
Y'all slept together?
No.
Different hotel rooms?
Yeah, we do TDYs. Yeah. Everybody gets their own hotel room.
I was just joking. You for real?
Yeah.
A hotel room?
Yeah, we go TDY. They put us up in a hotel room. Everybody gets their own room.
I was just joking. I was just joking. I thought that was a joke, but good gracious. That's wild. Okay. All right. So, we had 2 female medics, which is not they were attached to us whenever we went out in the field. Mm-hmm. Where there were no females in my MOS. So those females, they pretty much had the run of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I can only imagine.
I'm not gonna say they were mud ducks, but everybody looks good after being cooped up with a bunch of men 24/7. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So did y'all have that? Did y'all have that issue with the 7 females out of, you said 500?
I'm trying to think. So the one that I supervised, she was married and she was faithful to her husband and stuff. So the other ones were in different shops and stuff. So I never really got the opportunity other than if we were out in the field together.
Okay.
But the big thing was security forces.
Okay.
That's security forces was where security forces and the med group.
Okay. That's where the women were.
Yeah.
And they were attached to y'all. They were around y'all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's
what happens on every base happens on Air Force bases as well.
I know that's right, because when I was stationed in Georgia, Charleston was the closest Air Force base, and I frequent that base. So
yeah,
that's the way it goes down.
Right.
That was interesting. Okay, so to sum it up, we're gonna wrap it up. What would you want to put out there about the Air Force, the experience that you had? Did you have to jump through hoops with the transition with VA and anything? Did you have any issues?
Okay. So I would consider 12 of my 13 years to have been great. My leadership was good, with the exception of the few that didn't understand the whole mental health thing at first.
Okay.
But other than that, my supervision was great. My airmen were great. I only had a run-in with a couple of them getting in trouble over 12 years. But the biggest issue was when I got out, the whole transition. They didn't give me enough medication.
Okay.
So when I out-processed and everything, they gave me 30 days. Well, to get to a civilian mental health care doctor or a psychiatrist, anybody, it was 3 months out.
Okay.
And so it got so bad that I ended up having to have a conversation with the colonel over the med group. Okay. Because they didn't set me up in any way and tell me what I needed to do, none of that stuff.
Okay. This is prior to getting out.
Yeah. Yep.
PCS. Okay.
Yep. So that I think when it comes to all branches the mental health care system, just like it is throughout the United States, is broken. Everything's broken.
Okay.
And they have to realize that when, if someone broke their leg, but they're not going to be able to function properly again, so they get medically retired because of that, that's completely different than someone who's experiencing psychosis, mania, depression, suicidal thoughts, all of that stuff.
Yes.
Completely different.
Right.
But they don't treat it differently. You get the same briefings, you get the same crap that they feed you when you're going out the door.
Okay.
And then
That's it.
you were just a number.
Used up and spit you out like any other branch.
Yep.
Okay. So with the VA, did you have a problem with the VA? Did you have to jump through hoops?
So luckily, being medically retired, I was able to keep my TRICARE.
Okay.
So the only thing that I go through the VA with is my compensation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good deal. Okay. And that's it? That's all you have for the people?
Yeah, man. I appreciate you having me on here. This is fun.
Hey, I appreciate you coming through, man. I know I'm way out here and everything, but I appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we're going to wrap it up. And I want to thank y'all for tuning in to the AV Experience podcast here with the Air Force today. And Justin with the Air Force. And you heard it. It's really for smart people and good people. I will say that. It's smart people and good people. So, that's how it is. And we're out.